number of people voting early is massive. More than 58 million people have voted so far.
And that is more than all of the early votes cast back in 2016, and there are still 8 days to go.
So let's get to Tia now with more on this top story. Hi, Tia.
Hi. Yeah, this is good news, right? People participating in this election. I'm joined now by Dr. Stephen Maynard Caliendo, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at North Central College. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, Tia. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Let's get right into it. The number of people early voting shatters records. Do you think this is because of the pandemic, or do you think people want a change in leadership?
Well, it's hard to disentangle those things, although I think we'll get a better sense of it next week, and maybe toward the end of next week. We can't discount the pandemic as being part of it. First of all, some states that typically weren't doing early voting, as we have in Illinois, we've been doing it for some time. Other states haven't, and they are now. So the opportunity to vote early is greater in some places. And there's no question that people are worried maybe about what the density of an election place will be on election day, and are choosing to sort of spread themselves out and to get their voting done early this year.
We're looking at people that were actually lined up, that line just wrapping around those buildings there. It's not just here in Illinois. We know Florida, Michigan, and also Pennsylvania surpassing numbers from 2016 as mail-in ballots pour in. Are all of these ballots counted as they come in, or are they all counted on election day? How does that work?
Well, one of the complicated parts of our federal system is that I can't give you a straight answer for that. Every state decides how to do it, and it varies tremendously. Some states won't start counting until all the ballots have been processed. Some will not start counting until the polls close on election day. Others will start counting at lunchtime on election day, and yet other states will count them as they come in, but won't report any results until election day. So there's no consistent way or timing for when the votes are counted. It's really up to the individual states.
We're looking at video right now, and you see all kinds of people in that line, older people, younger people, male, female. Is it too early to tell the demographics of the people that decided to early vote or mail in those ballots?
Definitively it is, but we're getting a sense from polling that's done in terms of people indicating when they plan to vote, as well as some early demographics that come in as a result of states that require people to vote, to register as a party when they vote. For instance, we know in many states we're seeing more Democrats asking for mail-in votes than Republicans. We wouldn't be able to know that, for instance, in Illinois, because we don't register as a party when we register to vote, but some states who have closed primaries do. The other thing that we're noticing is a lot of young people are voting for the first time. Some because they could just vote for the first time. They just turned 18 in the last 4 years. But others because they're interested in the election in a way that they hadn't been before. So that's how much we know now. We'll probably know more next week.
I know all across the country people are voting early, and I remember growing up, it was a big thing in our household. You get up, you vote on election day, and you hear that from people all across Chicago, all across the state. Is this now a wave of the future to cast those ballots early?
Well, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at the data. I think in Illinois, we've seen a steady increase in people taking advantage of early voting for a number of years, a number of election cycles, for the convenience of it, and not having to wait in line. You know, we're really unique in terms of the way Western democracies operate, in the sense that we have only one voting day, typically only one election day, that it's a weekday, and that it's not a national holiday. And a lot of other countries think about voting differently than we have. And so expanding it to be able to vote early or to be able to vote by mail is likely to bring more people into the electorate, which a number of folks would say is a good thing.
Very good point. All right, Dr. Stephen Maynard Caliendo, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Tia. Good to see you. Have a good night.
All right, you do the same. Anthony and Sally, back to you.
All right, Tia.